see and be heard by. Council acknowledges the Wadawurrung traditional owners of this land, and I pay my respects to all elders past and present, to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people who are part of the Greater Geelong community today. Committee members are advised that this virtual meeting is being recorded and will be published on the council website. If any committee member loses connectivity with the meeting, they'll be marked as absent. If a quorum cannot be maintained during the meeting due to a member's losing connectivity, we'll adjourn for 10 minutes to re-establish a quorum. If a quorum cannot be achieved, the meeting will be banned and postponed until next Tuesday, the date next Tuesday. Voting will be by a show of hands. Also, speak to an item, please raise your hand as per requirement of the bill. Could I please have a show of hands from everyone that you can both see and hear, myself and other committee members? Excellent. Okay, so Nikki, we have apologies from, where am I? No?
Yep.
Yeah, apologies. So we, Steph
Reynolds and Amber have put in apologies. I'm just checking now. I think everyone else is here. Yep. So just Steph Reynolds and Amber. Oh, and Emma Jennings and Jody.
Yep. Haven't heard from Hugo.
He's here now. Yep, he's popped in. He's waving.
Ah, sorry, Hugo. I was just good on you, mate. So declarations of interest. If anyone has a conflict of interest, a hand up. Let us know during the meeting. So we're accepting the previous minutes from the, where's the date for that? The meeting on the 23rd of March.
16th of March.
Got a confirmation of those. 16th of March, sorry, okay. A different date here. Got a confirmation of those minutes, please. Steph and Bernie. Thank you. And matters arising from those minutes. Is anything there, Nikki?
They were all action. So it was for me to circulate the Storyfest EDM to committee members, to provide the sponsorship support letter to the Sweethearts, and to send the Story So Far document through to committee members, and that was all actioned.
Excellent. Question time. Have we had any questions submitted?
No questions were received.
No questions. All right. Straight on to the finance summary, which is attached to the pack.
Yes.
Did you want to speak on that, Nikki?
No, just if you've got any questions to let myself or Peter know.
Yeah. No questions on that? Okay. We're going to move and seconder for the finance?
No, we just, it's just for information.
Okay.
Yep.
Yep, sure. All right, straight on to section B, reports. Evaluation. What's the first? The Central Geelong Kids Fund Program?
I think you might, it's a snapshot of Storyfest.
Yeah, I've got...
Checking what's come.
I'm a month behind here.
I think you might be looking at last month's agenda there.
Yeah. All right, so update on the Storyfest.
Storyfest. So the snapshot for Storyfest is in your meeting pack. I'll take that as read. So if there are any comments or questions, I'll open it up to the committee. Yep, Hugo. You're just on mute. Do you want me to...
Is that working?
There we go, you're here. Yep.
I just, I did actually catch a bit of Storyfest, and I just wanted to say the activations, especially in the windows, the new windows idea of the shop front in Market Square that we've got. Thought that worked really well when they had the puppeteers. I think Helen O'Byrne's having a look at some lighting designers to try and utilise that window space more, but I know we're looking at maybe some musical entertainment in those windows with Helen, but I think the idea of sort of, you know, the concept similar to Windows and Myers, but maybe a ongoing performance space, but also gives you some weather protection. But I thought the Storyfest stuff that I've seen working in Central Geelong was of a very high quality and quite a good turnout.
Thanks, Hugo, for those comments. And I think, Nikki, the comments made by the Tom from Museum of Play and Art is really interesting, that 56% of those that attended were from Melbourne.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a big amount.
Yeah, definitely. It's a great response. He does say that they do seem to attract quite a big Melbourne crowd. It's a bit of a destination moper.
Yeah. Okay.
I was just going to say, he doesn't have his daily stats here, but I know from parenting, often the morning is sold out, the afternoon isn't. So to have days and days of full sellout, that is really great.
Yeah. Very good. All right. So what a move. What's next then, Nikki?
So we move on to an update on May Magic.
Okay, let's do that then.
Alrighty. So there isn't anything in your meeting pack for this one. I'll just provide you a bit of an update on May Magic, which commences next Saturday, the 1st of May, and will run until the 31st of May. So the major prize this year is the $10,000 cash, with other runner-up prizes, which create a total prize pool of over $62,000. The 3 runner-up prizes will be like what we did for Spend and Win in November last year, where it'll be, $3,000 voucher pack, a $2,000 voucher pack, and a $1,000 voucher pack, and all those vouchers come from Central Geelong businesses. The $10 reward voucher is back again. So shoppers who enter can win a $10 voucher to Market Square, to Westfield, or our participating business voucher when entering in person at the booth. So we have 14 businesses on that participating business voucher, and it looks like there might be another 1 or 2 that will come through this week before we go to print on Friday. To enter this year, shoppers need to spend $30 or more at any Central Geelong business. They then take their receipts or receipt to the redemption booth and show staff their receipt to then complete the entry form. Once they complete the form, they can spin the electronic wheel to determine their $10 reward, so which one of those $10 vouchers they receive that day. This year, customers can also enter online by downloading the Central Geelong app. So they'll just need to, once they've got the app download, there'll be a big prompt to enter. They have to upload their receipts still and then fill out the form to go into the draw to win the $10,000 cash, but they won't be eligible to receive that $10 reward voucher. Instead, they'll go into the draw to win a little separate prize on the side, which is a dinner for 2, drinks, beverage, everything included at Igni. The redemption booths this year, so they're open 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. daily. So Monday to Friday, the booth will be in the vacant premise in Little Mallup Central, where those windows Hugo was talking about are. We've used it for the Neon Room, Reindeer Academy, that shop. And on Saturdays and Sundays, there'll be a booth in Market Square in Westfield. We have reduced the booth hours slightly. I think last year it was 10 till 3. In the past, it's been 10 till 4. Way back when it was 10 till 2, we've gone back to 10 till 2 just to take the pressure off the staff, because it's such a heavy commitment on staff to manage, 31 days in a row. So we've just reduced that slightly for the team, but we've put that online option there so people can enter 24/7 in May online. There's no formal launch event this year. So as a lot of committee members would remember, we used, before COVID, we would have a launch event. We decided to remove that this year as it falls on a Saturday, and we thought the media are so busy with all the sport and stuff that we probably weren't going to get them there anyway. So we're going to send them a media release with images for that and put balloons and just sort of make it a bit exciting, but we'll still have the prize draw on the 1st of June as normal. We've secured partnership again with Bay 93.9, but we don't have a formal partnership with the Addy. It was a bit of, they didn't want a formal partnership and we wanted to go to more publications this year because we don't have that CBD cohort of workers that usually enter. We needed to broaden our advertising a little bit more to attract people in, especially with so many people working from home. So that's just given us the opportunity to put ads and do promotions through other publications like the Times and Forte and things like that. We've also got quite a heavy digital component for May Magic this year through Forte, using Google Ads and all of our paid social media that we can do through our channels, plus our extensive EDM database. Event kits are being packed this week to go to Central Geelong businesses. So every business in Central Geelong will receive a kit, whether participating or not. We do find with May Magic, businesses are very likely to use these kits and display it probably the most out of all of our programs. I think it's easy for them to sort of be involved in that way and encourage their customers to spend $30 or more and enter. And other than that, I just really want to acknowledge the work of Emma Jennings and Julie Nardi on this project. They've done an amazing job, especially during some really difficult times, to pull this together. So they've done an incredible job, and I just want to thank them for all their work. I'll pass over to the committee if you've got any questions.
Thanks, Nikki. Thank you.
No worries.
Anybody, any questions or any comments in relation to upcoming?
Yeah, just a quick one while I remember.
Right.
I think I had Centre Court booked for the launch of May Magic. Nikki, are you happy for me to cancel that?
Yeah, that would be good. Thanks, Heidi. Sorry, I thought Emma might have passed that on, but I'll yeah, we'll
no
cancel
problem.
that. Thank you.
No, first I've heard, but thank you. Yeah, no worries. We'll still hold the site for, I've got a site in centre for the weekend.
Oh, perfect.
Nikki,
Yes, Hugo.
Tourism Geelong and the Bellarine have just sent out a whole heap more information to its members last night. I want to step on Narelle's toes. Thank you, Narelle, for sending the meeting link. VFR, visiting friends and relatives. When we just talked a minute ago about the attendance for Storyfest being 50% Melbourne, Geelong's been identified time and time again as having a high visiting friends and relatives market. So that would probably be part of that 50% Storyfest of Melbourne people. In the study that was done on visiting friends and relatives specifically for Geelong, one of the big things was that it was equivalent to another 50% of the tourism market. But the key thing for us at Central Geelong Marketing is that visiting friends and relatives have a much higher retail spend per person than traditional tourism. So I think that's our big take home. So I just wanted to suggest you guys, where appropriate, of course, Tourism Geelong have their own marketing with the Greater Than campaign, but certainly where appropriate, I know they're really pushing harder. I've been talking with Tracy Carter and Brett Ince. They're really pushing hard that one of the early next generation of tourists back to Geelong will be the visiting friend relative, because obviously not a lot of overseas travel other than New Zealand. So I'm just wondering with something like May Magic, obviously it's very retail based, but just if you guys could liaise where appropriate with our friends in tourism, because there will be a unprecedented push towards getting our local people to be brand ambassadors for Geelong. And as I say, the flow on is retail, because you're not worrying about your travel luggage to fly home. You can spend a bit more in retail.
Yep. Thanks, Hugo. We'll touch base with tourism and see where we can join and leverage.
Anyone else? So the 1st of June, that's when it finishes.
I was just
Rachel.
going to say, I think the online claiming and the app downloads are really good intro into it. It means that if people buy something over lunchtime today, they can claim later and not be restricted by their time if people are spending less time in town. I think it's a really good incentive. And I think the $10, not having a $10 in the online claim, I think that's fine. I think it's still got a really good draw card.
Yeah, we thought it would get a bit tricky, people trying to prove that they've entered online but have or haven't claimed that voucher. Yeah, it would just sort of potentially cause a bit of confusion, I think, for the booth staff. So that was why we didn't add that into that option.
Anyone else? No? Okay, well, good luck with the May Magic, Nikki.
Thank you.
Update, the special rate. Who's speaking on that?
Virginia will be.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hello, sorry. Hello, everybody. You remember from last meeting that we had a 1-month submission period, which was all the month of March, where we invited people to submit their comments with regards to the declaration of the special rate. At the close of that period, we had 46 individual submissions, and they represented 109 properties. 5 submitters from that group wanted to speak to the hearing, and we had the hearing panel, which Councillor Murray was a member of, last Tuesday afternoon. So those 5 submitters came in and presented to the panel. 3 spoke against the redeclaration of the rate, and 2 spoke for the declaration of the special rate. Having a look at the assessment of the submissions that we did receive, the 46, I felt that they fell in about 4 different categories. 21 submissions, I think, directly oppose the special rate, which is 1.43% of the catchment for the special rate. So we're talking incredibly low numbers here. 8 submissions believe they should be exempt from the rate. 4 submissions support collective marketing, but with a different funding model. And 13 of the submissions support the continuation of the current special rate and funding model. So, so all in all, very low level of submissions, either sort of for or against. At the hearing panel, Councillor Murray, he may like to add, but I thought it was conducted very well. I thought everybody had the chance to really articulate what their view was towards the rate. The councillors present were very keen to find out the opinions of the submitters, and we had a small opportunity to speak once the submitters had left, just to clarify some factual matters. All in all, I think it went very well. Councillor Murray, did you want to add anything to that?
No, Virginia, look, I think you've summed it up pretty well. I was surprised it was, you know, of the numbers that elected to speak. I thought 5 was a very low number. I thought if you have 46 submissions across 109 properties and you have the opportunity to speak at a hearing, I thought 5 was very low. And,
Peter, can I speak to that?
You go.
I wrote a submission, and I may have not received the email, so this might be all me. I would have spoken. I would have thought for 40 odd submissions, I don't know how it was communicated or where I missed the information, but I would have spoken. And my landlord asked me, Bill Votsaris, why I didn't come and speak, and I just literally lost. Either I lost the information or it wasn't clearly communicated, and I've been pretty busy lately, so it could be all on me, but
Yeah.
I would have spoken, but if I'd had a phone call, or if that was not feasible, of course, maybe a couple of follow-up emails because of the nature of business at the moment, but I would have. How can the council, 1.4% feedback, it's not a representative sample statistically from any, to make a decision for decision making.
Virginia, how does that compare to 5 years ago, those numbers?
The objections, I think, were slightly less, and the supports slightly less. So
around the same number of,
yeah,
you know, yes and no, 50 sort of people, sort of thing.
Not really unusually.
Okay.
First, if I could just address Hugo. Hugo, you were sent an email which invited you to make an appointment. So look, I'm sorry you missed that, but getting back to your other point, it's universally accepted that those that stay silent on government engagement matters are supporters. Now, when you do look at that percentage of 1.43%, which was the opposing submissions, it is a incredibly low rate. The legal counsel that I engage through this process has just done one for the city of Stonington, where they had something like 46% objections to a special rate. And I believe council still declared the rate. So she was pretty astonished at the very small number of opposition that we got.
Virginia,
yeah.
Sorry, if it's, I think you said widely acknowledged or uniformly acknowledged that if people don't give feedback, that's then deemed as a positive. Is that somehow accepted by council formally, or is this just based?
That's just a universal acceptance of the engagement process.
But it's not formally accepted. It just represents that we think that most people.
Yeah, that's correct, and that would be the case for any engagement that council embarks on, whether it be for planning permits or special rates or strategies being formulated. So I mean, it's as an engagement professional, it's accepted that those that stay silent obviously support what's being proposed. However, you can't present it in that manner as a factual basis. So my role now is to finalise the report that will go to council following the hearing panel. And then council will make their decision on the 25th of May whether to declare the rate or not.
Could I ask a question to the chair, Peter, please?
Yes, Hugo.
Peter, to my knowledge, only 2 members of this committee wrote letters of support. Now, I'm one of them. So one other member wrote a letter of support. What's the role? Now, obviously, we have some council, let me precede this. We have council employees who you would definitely not expect to write a letter. I understand Ben at the Chamber of Commerce, he would not expect to write a letter. I did speak to Ben because he's got members on both sides, but wouldn't it, I did speak to you about this, Peter, wouldn't we have expected more than 2 letters of support, if not for the specific to the levy, but support for the staff and the marketing that they do to make sure that I feel, as you know, Peter, I feel the two issues are very unfortunately intertwined and should be treated as 2 separate issues, the achievements of the marketing committee versus the collection of a rate. But what is the role of this committee if it wasn't to write a letter of support at this time?
Look, I hear you, Hugo, but I can't speak for the committee members. And
well, no, I can't. But committee members are here.
I don't want to. It's probably. Look, I'm not sure you received that information anyway. But look, this is a matter that we've got to look forward to, and hopefully the result.
Looking forward, I reach out to every member to do as I've done, which is to contact your local councillor if you believe in this, in Central Geelong marketing continuing, regardless of how the levy's collected. I spoke to my 2 local members, Councillor Harwood and Councillor Nelson, and made sure that they got a copy of my letter. I've obviously reached out to you, Peter, so I haven't, ear-bashed every councillor. But as a committee member, I express my disappointment that people who are either volunteering their time or receiving time in lieu of and many of us are, intrinsically linked to the success or not of this committee. It's astounding. I've never come across it in all the committees I've been on that 2 letters of support. Now, as I said, I don't see that there are that many conflicts of interest in people's roles, but I would have thought this would have been a key opportunity for our members to either speak where appropriate, they don't have to agree, or give written feedback.
Yeah, no, we hear you. Virginia, can you just outline the process going forward now?
Yes, certainly, Peter. So the minutes from the hearing panel last week have been provided to the chair, and she will circulate that to the panel for agreement. The report goes into, I'll be finalising it today, it will go into ELT and they will make some suggestions perhaps on changes. Then we go to briefing on the, sorry.
11th, was it, Virg?
On my wall. Briefing on the 11th of May, and then to council meeting on the 25th of May, where council will then be asked to make a decision as to whether to declare the rate or not.
Okay. Anyone else got any?
I was just going to say, what was the general feedback at that panel meeting? What was from the people that actually spoke?
The general feedback?
Yeah, general, yeah.
So they fell into one of those four categories. They're representative of the whole group. So three spoke against the special rate. One queried the process of notification. The other queried the benefit to his business. And the third one was also benefit to business. The two that spoke for, they both were very passionate and felt that this is something that must continue and we can't afford not to have it at the moment, particularly with post-COVID recovery. So yeah, across those five submitters that appeared, and a lot of people get really nervous speaking in front of a panel, and it is quite a formal process. So I think that's why, even though we had 46 people write in, a lot of those people in their letters said, look, I don't want to speak before a panel. So I think, you know, five people, and they were incredibly nervous, but they got their points across and they were quite representative of the whole group that we received submissions from. So it was a really good cross-section.
Thanks, Virginia. We'll keep moving. So the next item is the Executive Officer overview, month overview. No, Nikki?
Yep. So that report is in your meeting packs, and I'll take that as read as well. I just wanted to highlight that in the meeting pack as well is an updated gift policy, which all committee members have to abide by. So please just have a look at that and make sure you're familiar with the updated policy. And just to flag with the committee as well, we do have a Mother's Day promotion coming up on top of our normal programming of the winter school holiday program, May Magic, and potentially a little bit of taste. But yeah, the Mother's Day promotion, I think I mentioned last time, with the goodie bag giveaway featuring Central Geelong businesses in those goodie bags. So that will go live next Tuesday, if I've got my dates right. So you'll see that on Love Central Geelong social media. But that's it from me.
Very good. Anyone got any questions, comments about the overview, the programs there? Thanks, Nikki. There's no confidential matters to discuss? No. So we'll go around the table. So Bernie.
Thanks, Peter. Yeah, look, really good school holiday period. Back of Godzilla and Peter Rabbit, we've had a lot of people around, traded really well for the 2-week period. It's been encouraging the amount of people in the CBD and people getting around. It's been really good for that period of time. But yeah, look, from a business perspective, we're seeing signs of life and a way forward, which is good. The refurb, I think, is to be completed by the end of June. So we're currently in the process of doing all that stuff at the moment. So it's all guns blazing at the moment. It's good.
Excellent. And I just love the fact that Godzilla and Peter Rabbit are helping you guys.
Yes, yes. And it's been not missed. It's been good.
Ben, you still with us?
Hey guys. Yeah, it's true. As Bern said, it's coming to life. Certainly in the business sector, people have been really keen to re-engage. We've found that. Probably found people as kind of a bit more tired of Zoom and keen to re-engage face-to-face. We had About 350 at our last After 5 last month in partnership with the Catch, which was awesome for those that were there. It was just such a great vibe to get everyone back together. And we've got that again this Thursday out on the pier. So I encourage anyone to come along and get involved. Apart from that, we're finding our wellbeing program's been really well received, and we've run little tactical campaigns around being open for business. And you probably see a lot of those, those videos on our social media. So the engagement's really high. People are keen to get back, and it feels like there's a sense of purpose and momentum with what everyone's doing.
Yeah, excellent. And the Chamber have done a great job. Excellent. Thanks, Ben. Greg.
Hi, everybody. Up until now, things have been okay. Easter was very busy. We're still getting a lot of local people, Melbourneites, Victorians travelling down here because they can. I think looking forward now, we're still going to struggle without the corporates because the office workers aren't coming back. The WorkSafe, the NDIA, we're not getting those corporate visitors, which has been our staple for the midweek booking. So yeah, fingers crossed, we've got to see how things go.
Yeah. Thanks, Greg. Rachel.
Hi. Yeah, it's kind of starting to feel a little bit normal these days. We had the CATS activation on the weekend. PHI is strong. April's always a bit of a weird one, depending on where Easter falls. Yeah, and I think everyone's buzzing about the new office. It's coming quickly, coming very, very quickly.
Yeah, some might have missed it, Rachel, but you said the expectations June, July, is it?
Yeah. I haven't really paid that much attention to the dates, to be honest, but people are packing up their old desks when they're in the office, so it is happening. You can see carpet going in, and it's the finishing touches, not the outer.
Yeah. Excellent. It'd be great for the CBD. Felicity.
Not much to report. We had a really strong Easter, April school holidays, which was really positive. There was lots of feedback from customers, I guess, that the not wearing of masks is a really great thing, and that's definitely helped retail. And yeah, we had General Pants open early April, and they're trading really well. And yeah, just planning for the next couple of months, going into winter, trying to come up with some activations to draw people to the CBD. But otherwise, everyone's feeling pretty positive.
Thanks, Felicity. Good. Lucy.
Yeah, not too much to report. We're kind of coming out of a quieter area and going into a busier time. So mid-year campaigns will go live. We've got info sessions that are going back to face-to-face. So returning to normality a little bit more. And we've got scholarships event tomorrow night at GMHBA Stadium. So just to thank our benefactors and sponsors who support the Gordon. That's about it.
Very good. Thanks, Lucy. Narelle.
Like Ben, we had our first in-person networking evening. That was last month. I think it was the last day of last month, and that was held out at Flying Brick Cider. I know Hugo was there. I unfortunately didn't make it myself, but there was about 140 people there, and it was a really well-received event, and everyone was excited to get together, see each other again, network, etc. So it was fabulous. We'll be releasing a visiting friends and relatives, talking on the back of what Hugo has just said. We'll be releasing a video, a visiting friends and relatives video that is being done in conjunction with the Geelong Cat. So yeah, that partnership will start next week. Well, actually, I think the video will be released at the football this weekend. So it's been done in conjunction with the Cat. So it's actually a fun video. So when you see it, I hope you like it. We had on the 1st of April, we had Sunrise doing the weather down on the waterfront, which was pretty exciting. That was done to coincide with the day of the half-price flights, the federal government's half-price flight. So Sunrise chose Geelong out of all of those destinations around Australia. Fantastic, and it was a beautiful morning on the waterfront if anyone saw it. So yeah, that was on the 1st of April, the day before Good Friday. Running Geelong has done really, really well, and the feedback even from businesses along Little Mallet Street from the flow-on effect from people visiting the exhibition has been wonderful as well. We've got some really great media out of it also. So we had an article in the Australian. We've got an article coming out in Good Food. I'm hoping it's either this week or next week. Domain have done an article as well. So there's been some really great media there. And Tourism Geelong Bellarine have also submitted some feedback to the Legislative Council on the impacts of COVID-19 on the tourism and events industry in this region. And we've also done a survey in conjunction with Great Ocean Road Regional Tourism, also to gather the feedback on our industry as well. So yeah, we've submitted that only in the last few days to the Legislative Council just on the impacts of COVID. So yeah, there's been a bit going on, but it's full steam ahead. There's, as some of the people have said about Easter, etc., there's been some really great visitation to the region.
Excellent. Thanks, Narelle. Hugo.
Look, a couple of things. First and foremost, just want to shout out to Ben, and after a meeting where some of you saw I was a bit distressed watching my business go down the plug hole, I've engaged with the wellbeing program at the Chamber of Commerce. I just want to tell you all that it's been an incredible process, and it's not just counselling, but also financial and marketing support. So we've engaged coming up with that. So I encourage anyone, if you've got any staff or anyone, here I am today, and it's we're fully engaged and finding an incredibly supportive process. And congratulations. Tourism Geelong, yeah, look, Narelle, I drank your drinks at Flying Bricks, sorry about that, but congrats. The sunrise thing, I don't think that should be underestimated, the enormity of national television at breakfast, and thanks for involving Bay City Events. Our company received a small grant from the City of Greater Geelong for COVID recovery, so we've engaged with a couple of companies here in Geelong, and we'll be rebranding and relaunching soon as Bay City Events and Entertainment with the two-pronged approach. Number one, working towards the 5-year rollout of the conference centre for Geelong. So working with our conference planners through Business Events Geelong, which is part of Tourism Geelong with Mark Day. The other thing is we've been successful in the Parklet activation, which we put in a quote for the council. So you'll see free live music in and around the Parklet. So I just want to speak to everybody here about something really important. We programmed the first 6 weeks, which will be finishing on the 14th of May, of Parklet activation. So these are Yarra Street, Packington Street, Union Street, and live entertainment. Now, we're coming into winter, and we're going to have a review process of whether some of them might move indoors, maybe into a few different spaces. So for those of you coming to the Chamber Thursday night, would be a good chance to get in my ear if you'd like some involvement. I want to point out something really crucial. The 21st of June is Make Music Day Australia. So this is making any sort of music all around Australia. It's part of a national campaign. It's free to be part of. It can be on Zoom. It can be a jam. It can be a pop-up. So if any of you want any help to do any activations to tie in with this fantastic product, I'll help out free of charge. I'll give you a hand. So if you need to find something, if you'd like to be part of it, just go to Make Music Day Australia on Facebook. You'll find the web link. And I'm encouraging everyone. It's just a really great way we could be involved. I'll be, of course, working with Helena Byrne and seeing what we can do with the next lot of our Parklet activations, whether we can channel some of them into that day, because, of course, we're moving towards a little bit more wet weather. But we've, I encourage you to have a look. EcoDev has put up a list of those Parklet activations. We've got 2 finalists from The Voice performing. There's some pretty strong performers. We've got excellent Geelong artists. Last but not least, you've heard enough from me today. I'm sure you'll be getting off this saying, I wish that guy'd shut up, but too bad you're stuck with me. We have announced that we're bringing back the Blues Train in Queenscliff. We've had a really big media week on that one, and a lot more to come. So from that, what forced my hand was the pulling of JobKeeper. I refer again to Ben's recent news articles. The real challenge for tourism, the real challenge for business is about to happen. We're moving into winter without JobKeeper. So we're going to see some struggling businesses. Look, so we've decided we're coming back in October. We've successfully gained a COVID safe plan. So that sort of, I guess, iconic business for the Bellarine Peninsula will come back in October. We've had a a flurry of media, and we will be backing that up with a $100,000 marketing campaign, which will probably start around the 1st of June. We're working with a media buyer. So, watch this space. That we're going to come back, and we're going to come back a lot harder than we left, hopefully a lot stronger than we left.
Well done. Well said, Hugo. And
Thank you.
we send all our best wishes to you.
Yeah, thanks to the people who've reached out. I've had a rough year.
Yeah. Stephanie.
Just whilst there's a handbag going in the background, business as usual for us. The ABS have almost moved all their staff down. They're doing the builders clean this week. So that'll probably include, I think we're at 150 staff from their Dandenong branch into the CBD at 237 Ryrie Street. Other than that, inquiries probably slowed a little bit, but there's some nice government requirements coming out that are bigger than the usual sort of 200 to 300 square metres, which is exciting. But that's about it.
Thanks, Steph. Heidi.
Yeah, it's been 2 very full-on months at the centre. There's been a big push from our head office to get member engagement through our Westfield Plus app. So we had a 3-week chance to win $10,000 for customers, and we're right in the middle of Spend and Reward, which has been going quite well. Quite curious to see how CBD workers traffic will change. I guess the government hoping that April 19th will be the return to work, but in what capacity, I guess, is the big question mark. Yeah, I'm still planning for upcoming events. Got a few different relocations of retailers around the centre, and we've also started our parking works upgrade. So colour coding just to help people find locations better, and yeah, hoping to make it easier for our customers. So plenty happening.
Thanks, Heidi. Virginia, did you want to say any more?
No, I'm all good, Peter, but I'm really happy to hear that Hugo's bouncing back with renewed vigour, and I'm sure that this Mark II Hugo business is going to be really successful.
Thanks very much. And I'm not very good on the group chat, but if you have a look, I've just put the Facebook link for Make Music Day Australia. It's up there for everyone. I will help you free. If you need a hand to find anything musical, I will help. I'll put you in touch with a supplier, anything you need.
Fantastic.
Thanks, Hugo. Thank
Pleasure.
you.
Thank you.
That's about it, I think, Nikki.
Yeah, that's it.
So thanks, everyone. Have a good month, and I'm trying to find the date of the next meeting, but
the 18th of May.
18th of May. Thank you. So everyone have a good day. Let's fight the good fight.
Exactly.
Cheers everyone.
Thanks.
Bye.